let's have a look at the runes. He's got 15 armor penetration, 24 magic resist at level 18, 6.8 flat physical damage, and to round it off, plus 13 armor. Mastery-wise, he is going 9-21-0, so he's not going for the runic affinity. He is opting for more of a tankier approach here. In the offense, he's going down all the way through to armor penetration with a plus 4% attack speed. He's got the brute force, 3 attack damage, and of course Summoner's Wrath. And in the defense, he's gone all the way down to the Juggernaut, very similar to Nautilus in the sense that he has Veteran Scars, Initiator, and also a bladed armor alongside a tough skin. So hopefully that gives you a bit of an idea of how these two junglers are going to be approaching this game. This, of course, is still a best of one, so basically sudden death format. If you lose, you're out of the tournament, and you will not be getting those 500 euros as prize pool. Either way, we're going to cut to a very quick commercial break, guys. About 1 minute 7 remaining on the delay. When you rejoin us, we'll be live for round number 3 between Fnatic and TCM. Don't go anywhere. Well, welcome back once again, ladies and gents. For the third or fourth time, we'll be bringing you Fnatic RaidCall Cup action. And we have a real cracker on our hands once again here. Fnatic against TCM in the third round. It's actually the semi-finals, so the winner of this will be going through to the finals. And just to give you an idea of how these two teams have progressed through to this stage, Fnatic have bested a few gamers. And as we just saw previously, if you didn't catch it, they also took out Faculty in a 60-minute epic at the end. And on the flip side, TCM have taken the scalps of TT Esports and also My Brownies. And My Brownies beat SK-Gaming in the first round. So both teams have done a nice job to get to this stage. And I can really expect a lot of explosive action from both of them. Now, Kassadin in mid from Peke. I didn't mention this before, but of course Kassadin with the Rift Walk, as soon as he hits 6, very similar to an Ari or a Twisted Fate, you have to be very careful that he's not just going to be lurking around your lane. So as soon as Kassadin hits 6, I'm going to be expecting to see him ganking a lot, maybe trying to harass the bot lane, coming around the backside, or maybe going up towards top, or even trying to counter jungle and catching those junglers off guard. And Lamia actually just caught my eye because he's took a cleanse and he's also took heal, which Tristana can afford to do. Of course, she has the rocket jump, which is in itself kind of a flash type system, and she's taken cleanse purely because of Taric. There's no doubts in my mind that she took that one to counteract the Taric stun that can come in, because as soon as Taric drops the dazzle, Graves is going to be right there waiting, and Graves with the epic Mafia skin. So both junglers seem more than happy just to stay in their lane. It does make sense. I'm not going to expect to see Nocturne doing a great deal of counter jungling in this matchup. He does have exhaust, which normally signifies he's not too interested. You really do need a defensive escaping mechanism if you are going to go counter jungle. So more often than not, if you have something like a Mundo, if you have someone that's going to do a lot of counter jungling, or a Shyvana, you would normally maybe take a flash. Possibly not for Shyvana, because she does have her ultimate that she can fly away with. But yeah, the fact that he's got exhaust suggests to me that he's going to be playing very much a farming frenzy in his own jungle, maybe trying to set up the ganks, but not doing a great deal of counter jungling. On the other hand though, Cyanide does have flash, so if he so feels, he can go and harass quite a lot. If he gets caught out of position with his pants down, he can flash through the walls and he can manage to escape. Nautilus, of course, is such a good ganker early to mid game. Going to be difficult to catch Kennen off guard though. The Lightning Rush is going to get him out of dodge. Also, Taric can just stun down Nautilus whenever he comes to that bot lane. And it looks like we're actually going to have Yorick in mid. So, interesting play here. Realizing that, you know, Kassadin is a melee champion. Sure, he does have range with his Null Sphere. Sure, he can Rift Walk and use the Force Pulse, which may actually work quite nicely against Yorick, because he's going to be spamming those ghouls all day long. Still, Yorick should definitely be able to harass Kassadin out of that lane. So I can see where TCM are going with this one. You can already see just at level 3 how much damage his ghouls are doing to Peke. He's already had to go through a health potion. Yorick still has all 3 standing and 100% health remaining. So it's going to be very difficult for Peke there in mid to actually get a whole lot. So maybe Nautilus is going to have to feature heavily in that mid role. Only time will tell. So, the opening 4 minutes have not yielded any first bloods. Nautilus is going to move his way down to bot lane. There is a ward, however, in the tri-bush, so he's going to be spotted in ample time for TCM to react to that one. There you go. He's now in tri-bush. Both Graves and Taric pull themselves back into their bush. They are more than safe there. Nautilus, realizing nothing is going to come to fruition, is just going to pull himself back towards mid. Maybe going to go into Yorick. Yorick is another one of those players that if his flash is down, he's very susceptible to ganking. Here we go. Are we going to see anything landing off here? And Yorick actually opting to go into his jungle rather than back to his tower. That for me was quite strange. He was leaving himself in a really sticky situation. He did get caught from the dredge line and ignited, but will manage to pull back. And I have to feel if he just pulled back to his tower, even if the dredge line hit, he'd have been under tower, and the tower aggro would definitely have put off Peke and Cyanide. So, strange situation. I can only assume he's expecting Nocturne to come down a bit quicker, but that wasn't the case. And this is going to give Kassadin ample time to get some farm on the board. He's got 31 right now to Yorick's 17. So, for all of Yorick's harassment, he hasn't really been capitalizing on last hits afterwards. So Peke in a fairly commanding position. Well, let's have a quick look at the top lane. How is it faring between Darius and Kennen? Gunjan and Shushay. Actually, hold that thought. 2 junglers are going to be coming into some confrontation here. Unspeakable Horror has been popped off. In the meantime, Darius has started his onslaught onto Kennen. He could be caught out of position as an exhaust goes off and ignite as well. We are going to see first blood here from one of these players. Who's it going to be though? As Farfane is going to go down from Nautilus, who picks up the first blood. Darius is trying his best to escape, and he is going to be able to do just that. So first blood on the board from Cyanide. Really nice play there from the Fnatic top and jungle, locking together. Shaking and baking, picking up a kill, and it's looking good for them at top as of course the assist does come in as well. Lamia did just get caught out. Quick draw from Graves. I'm not too sure about that one. He quick drawed into a fairly beefy Tristana and Soraka on top of that. And of course Soraka's heal, the Astral Blessing, will give 45 bonus armor for 5 seconds. So quick drawing into a Tristana with Astral Blessing, maybe not the smartest of ideas, and he was forced to actually flash away there because he was getting so pummeled from that bot lane. Some action at top lane again as Nautilus is still up there. He's going to pop off the Riptide right now. You are going to have Slicing Maelstrom on the battlefield. I don't think that's going to save his life though. Apprehend does pull back in, and the Hemorrhage And yeah, I think the hemorrhage may have actually finished Kennen off that, as the dredge line came dangerously close to taking that kill. So it's going to be 1-for-1. In the meantime, Yorick is being pushed back heavily in that mid lane. He did just put out a Omen of Famine, which of course will heal him for up to 40% of the damage that he deals. It's a nice little way for him to stay sustainable in his lane, which this time of course is going to be in mid against Peke. Has he managed to close the gap a bit on farm? Yes, he has. He's on 33 to 46. Last time we checked he's on 17, so he has doubled his creep score in the last couple minutes. But let's have a quick look at some of these early items that are going around. We have 3 Philo Stones up right now for Fnatic, so that suggests to me that they're aiming for more towards the mid to late game, allowing themselves to get enough gold to get those late game items a bit sooner. Apprehend has been used onto Kennen, but Darius doesn't have a great deal of health. I think he's going to be going for the guillotine. He does have enough, and look at that damage, the burst from Shushay. This is why Darius was banned out last game from, I think it was Fnatic, just purely. That was just ridiculous. Bass just said in my ear, totally not OP, and I could detect the heavy sarcasm in his voice. Because that guillotine is unbelievable. Having said, talking about OP, there comes a very strong Nocturne flying through the air with Graves and Taric behind him. And Soraka will just melt before the AD carry of Tristana's eye. So Lamia is missing his tag team partner for the next 10 seconds. But yeah, I mean, Darius, the amount of damage that he did at top there in a short period of time was absolutely insane. I think Kennen had about a third of his health remaining when that guillotine came in, and it just chopped him in two, literally cutting him in half. I apologise for calling Darius Darian, but you know, fairly similar phonetically sounding names, so I'm sure you can forgive me. But either way, we are continuing on the action. Fnatic have had a nice quick start, 11.5k to them, about 10k coming up on the board any second now for TCM. And Darius now has a level advantage over Kennen, literally 1 level over. So Kennen is going to be finding it difficult to keep himself in that lane and to get as much farm. Well, let's have a look at the creep score though. Darius 57 and Kennen on 51. So Kennen not too far behind, but he's going to be feeling the pinch as he has died twice already, has the chain vest and the ninja tabby boots, but of course the downside of that is it deals true damage to the Noxian guillotine, so that all that armor is not going to do a great deal against Shushay right now. He just needs to stack up those hemorrhages and then just absolutely crush you with the ulti. Here comes Nautilus, they're on the prowl for another kill here onto Kennen. Kennen is just going to lightning charge away. That's one of his main strengths as a top character, as he can get out of that very, very quickly. How is Kennen looking right now? Actually, let's a quick switch. He does have 23 ability power, so obviously he's not going to be going AD this game. I wasn't too sure because we didn't see any AP items coming out early on for him. But Nautilus is hiding in this bush. Also put a ward down on top of that. Here we go with depth charge onto the lightning charge as well. And here comes Nocturne trying his best in amongst all that. Graves has gone on to Tristana, but let's keep the action at top lane. As I thought we were going to see a bit of a tower dive onto Nocturne, but Nocturne doing enough just to alleviate that pressure. Onto Kennen. This is what I was talking about before. Watch out for Peke being very aggressive once he hits level 6, trying with the Rift Walk to get that kill onto Kennen, but Kennen being forced to use that slicing Maelstrom just to hold them off and keep them in place. So no kills will be going at top, but TCM did manage to pick up the scalp of the AD carry, Tristana at the bot. So bot lane is being pushed back aggressively. The Mafia Graves and the Blood Taric doing great work here. Oh, I've just been told from Bass, who's our streamer, that unfortunately his mouse and keyboard are malfunctioning, or there's some kind of problem in League of Legends, so he has to leave directed camera on for now. So we... He just explained to me, he can move his mouse, but he can't click on anything. Like, he can't click on the mini-map, he can't click on players. So, just a quick word of warning, guys, if you are experiencing something like that, we will try our best to fix that. But obviously, we are going to carry on with the action, as Fnatic will be going on to the Dragon here. 3 players, but here comes TCM trying to thwart this Dragon attempt. They have 4, making that 5 players coming down now, as Kennen is joining the ranks. Darius is more than happy to just keep farming top. The downside of this is he's going to leave his team a player behind at bot lane on this Dragon. TCM will be taking this one with ease. You do see Tristana having a sneaky peek there. Nearly got her caught out, but not quite. And the Dragon will go down. And also on top of that, of course, the bot tower got destroyed from the purple team. Darius is going to try and reply onto the top purple tower itself. But he is going to pull back and allow the minions to do all the work for him. Going down into the opposition jungle, maybe going to try and steal the Wraiths here, as he can actually see that Nocturne and Yorick around blue. In fact, I'm not sure he can see that. There is a ward down there, but it's not on blue itself. So yes, he will be stealing those Wraiths. He also puts a nice ward down in the Wraith bush, just making sure that Kennen didn't come around the side, or one of the other players just, you know, trying to sneak up on him. We do have a lot of players starting to make a move towards this mid lane. There's going to be 3 from TCM, and there was 3 from Fnatic as well, but 2 of them are going to start to push towards the top, one of which is Nautilus, the other is Darius. Darius is going to be moving around, just warding everywhere in that jungle. He's now going to be peeking around. Lightning Charge was just used before from Kennen to go onto the golems, apprehend through the wall. This could be a dead Kennen. Let's see how much damage that guillotine does. Oh my god, and the ignite and the hemorrhage on top of that will be a dead Kennen. And now I'm starting to understand why there's so many. In fact, never mind me talking, let's just carry on with this instead. Nocturne flies in with Paranoia. Yorick did go down, but popped the ultimate onto himself to stay around a bit longer. Oh, wowzers. Graves will destroy Nautilus with the collateral damage. Nautilus must have thought he may have been able to sneak away. But as I was going to say before I interrupted myself, I can now start to see why there's so many threads on the League of Legends forums complaining about Darius. Because that damage is way, way too strong. And Kennen is falling further and further behind. Look at that item build from him. Chain Vest and Ninja Tabi Boots after nearly 15 minutes. Ouchie. That's not looking too good for him, especially when you consider that Darius has a Phage, a Giant's Belt, a Null Magic Mantle, and Mercury Treads finished off already. Let's have a look at the gold difference between them two. Darius, 4.9k gold. Kennen, 3.4. Big, big difference. That is a gaping difference after nearly 15 minutes. But Kennen is going to try and make the most of his tower being down. Darius doesn't want to overextend too much. This is one of the advantages, I guess, to having your tower taken down so early, is that you do get a better chance when the creeps push back to your second tower to just pick them all up without any contention. Because, you know, Shushay right now, he's so far ahead, he doesn't want to give this away. He just wants to keep on pushing forward. He's got 3 kills and 1 assist. He's looking very, very strong indeed. There's a 124 creep score to Kennen's 86. Kennen has just picked up the needlessly large rod, and with that chain vest, more than likely going to be transitioning into the Zhonya's Hourglass, which of course is such a good item for him. And as time goes on, I would expect to see that Abyssal Scepter finished off for Kennen on top of it. Such a core item for him, of course, will reduce the magic resist of nearby enemy champions by 20. And give him magic resist on top of that. Here comes the Darius once again. Big damage being put onto Yorick. Will the hemorrhage finish it off? I don't think it will. But again, that Noxian Guillotine doing draw-droppingly amounts of damage, and Yorick is going to have to go back, still flashing up red. This is going to give Fnatic the opportunity to take down this mid tower, or will it? Here comes Slicing Maelstrom with that large rod. He's going to be putting out a fair chunk of damage. Nautilus is going to have to pull back. In the meantime, Kennen could be going down from the ignite. Here comes Tristana to finish it off. She's on low health as well. Going to use that summoner heal, I think it was. But will she be getting taken down from the Nocturne? Beautiful cleanse used from Lamia. That's the reason right there. She took the summoner spell, and here comes the Darius once again. Will Nocturne be able to pick up the kill onto Cassidy, yes, he will with the Duskbringer, but only just, and could put himself in harm's way. Here comes Shushay once again. The Dark Shroud is up, but not enough to stop the onslaught. Yorick back onto Nautilus in amongst all the action. It's just backwards and forwards, and it's going to end up being an 8-5. Fnatic still ahead. And a fairly ballsy play from Nocturne, but he did get his man. He did manage to take down Peke there. Only just, by the skin of his teeth with that Duskbringer underneath the tower. But as I was saying before, cleanse really came good there for Tristana. She got stunned from Taric while Nocturne had his unspeakable horror on her. And she just cleansed out of the stun, pulled back to the tower, and just managed to get out of range before the fear procced off. So that's why Cleanse is such a useful spell when you consider that Lammy is playing Tristana. She has a pickaxe and a vampiric scepter. How much gold? 2,200 is accredited to her in her bank account right now. Kassadin is going to reply with a large rod of his own. He also has all the gold per 10. Other than the Avarice Blade, he's got the Heart of Gold, the Cage's Lucky Pick, and the Philosopher's Stone. Cage's Lucky Pick also being built on Soraka. I saw this a couple of days ago actually from Fnatic, where I believe they took a Deathfire Grasp on Taric, so maybe they're going to be going for that tactic again. Who knows? That's definitely one to watch out for. Either way, Mana Moon has been finished onto Yorick. We do have a Bloodthirster on Graves. That's pretty much all to report. Phage on Nocturne with a Ruby Crystal. Dragon has just came back up again. Lots and lots of pings. I did miss that kill because I was assuming something would catch fire here around Dragon, but surprise, surprise, Shushay has got his man once again. Kennen has been dropped at that top lane. Purple lane goes down in mid. Dragon is still up though. Doesn't seem that either team were really fancying it in that stage. Here comes Tristana, lots of damage being put onto Nocturne, but maybe the mistake is exhaustive been popped on there. Depth charge onto Yorick, trying to get him out of contention. The fear goes off, and the collateral damage only just misses onto Tristana from Graves. That could prove to be pretty important. Never mind me talking, as Yorick will finally pick up that one. And Tristana's rocket jump was not off cooldown, so she actually engaged that team fight. She jumped in first and got completely destroyed for all of her effort. Peke should be okay. He does have Riftwalk and enough mana to use it, but it seems TCM are more interested in that elusive dragon. That global goal, very nice for them. Here we go, another team fight going to kick off here. Let's go in first. Kennen flies in with the lightning charge. Cyanide is on dangerously low health. He is going to go down from Kennen. Paranoia also popped in amongst all that from Nocturne. So 3 assists going on alongside the Kennen kill to Nautilus. 9-7, and TCM are starting to look pretty strong. The Dragon did go down in amongst all that too. The goal difference right now is 28.4 to Fnatic, 23.7 to TCM. Apprehend has been used there from Darian. Look, Darius even, look at that damage as Soraka is going to finish it off. I need to stop saying Darian, really I do. I'm just so used to calling that name at top. So they did pick up the kill onto Taric, and it was from Soraka, so support and support action. The red has just came back up for TCM, and Nocturne will be finishing that one off very, very quickly. Tristana picks up a Infinity Edge. Graves is looking quite a distance ahead though. He's got the Bloodthirster and the Zeal. How many stacks on Bloodthirster does he have? He's got about half. 19 attack damage addition and a 3.8% on lifesteal. You're going to have Zhonya's Hourglass finished off from Kennen as we're expecting. I would probably say his next item is going to be an Abyssal Scepter, but we're just going to have to wait and see if that comes to fruition. Hex Drinker and a Frozen Mallet finished off from Darius after 21 minutes. Ouch, that's looking pretty damn strong. Shry's Reverie onto Nautilus as well, such a good item for him. Wants to get in close proximity as soon as he possibly can. And Kennen is going to try and just get some farm back. He's kind of getting there. He's got 114. It's not anything too special. Yorick is coming under heavy fire though from 3 players. You're going to see Kassadin jumping through with the Force Pulse. more harassment than anything else. Wasn't expecting to get the kill. Shirai's Reverie was actually popped there from Nautilus to get down to bot lane. I'm assuming they're trying to get this kill onto Graves before he recalls, but unbeknownst to them, he has already finished that one off. They're now going to fire this out. This with the rocket jump and dredge line were used from Cyanide and Lamia. And they realise, oh, Graves has already got back. Never mind. Here comes Tarek. Could be starting this one off for his team. Can he get the stun? Yes, he can, but Peke was able to flash through the wall with a Rift Walk. And that's what saved him there. Darius is actually just biding his time up in the blue bush there. Doesn't seem too interested about this team fight kicking off potentially at bot lane or this tower, but now starting to move his way down. Maybe was waiting for one of those plays to start to push around onto walls. We're going to see some red flashes there as the ignite or... Oh, the depth charge comes out from Nautilus. Is that going to be enough? No, it isn't. Oh my god, Kennan's going to escape with about 25 health there. But because of his weakness, the rest of his team have to turn and run. That's going to allow the rest of the Fnatic side to try and capitalize on this. Yorick has gone down. Double kill coming in from Darius onto Nocturne as well. Can he get the triple kill? Yes, he can with the guillotine. And this is one of the craziest things I've ever heard about a champion, that if you kill somebody with his guillotine, it gets reset. A move like that getting reset every couple seconds is absolutely ridiculous. And we just saw Shushay picking up 3 in as many seconds. So he's now moved himself to 8-0-4, has added a pickaxe, 13-7 the scoreline, and 35.2 to 26.4k gold. Nice damage coming out from Kassadin onto Kennen. He really has been the emotional punch bag this game for Fnatic. Everyone's been taking turns. And they're actually going to go for this in-hip tower, damaging it pretty badly actually. Going to be jumping back in again. Darius can pull back with the apprehend. Are they going to try and finish things off onto Nocturne? He's on such little health there. Yorick is going to pick up a kill. Graves back onto Shushay, his first death. That's going to be shut down. Lots and lots of gold going into the back pocket of Graves. He's going to be happy about that one. And what looked like it could be a team fight going into the hands of Fnatic very quickly, that changed. The tides of that battle came straight back in their favour. Kassadin is going to try and pick up the kill onto Kennen, but he has not enough mana to do so. And with Graves and Yorick lurking round, he has to use that Rift Walk to flash away. This is going to leave Soraka in a sticky situation though, as Yorick is going to be slowing it down all the time. Ignite has been popped on as well. She's going to fall surely here. Graves going to be trying to go onto Kassadin. Kassadin tried his best to save his support, but in doing so may have put himself in the firing line, because here comes Tarek from the side. Dazzle used, and Graves will pick up that kill. And I'm pretty sure Peke was thinking, okay, I'm going to try and help Soraka here. Oh no, I'm dead. And that's going to leave Baron very much open for TCM to try and jump upon. Nautilus is moving his way up with Tristana, but it could be a case of being too little too late. Will Cyanide try the suicide, if you get me, pardon the pun, and steal this Baron? It's possible. Dredge line in, smite, who knows? The stunners came off. He's going to go in and steal this one. He realises that Baron is slightly too high for that smite. He's going to go down here from Graves. Very well played from TCM. They realised that had they have kept attacking that one, smite would have been way more than enough to pick up the Baron. In amongst the light, though, Darren's going to pick up one. Tries to get his second with the ultimate. Does get it there. And Tristana from the side is hailing down Hellfire and Brimstone. Manages to pick up the kill onto Kennen, but she's going to be getting put 6 foot under courtesy of Graves, with 3 assists coming in from the rest of the team. So 16-14. Baron was picked up from TCM, and I cannot categorically state how important it was that TCM halted up on the DPS on Baron there. If they'd continued on, Nautilus would have came in with that smite. He had the smite, he was in prime position, and he would have fired it off and he would have stole it. So very smart play from TCM there, letting up on Baron and allowing themselves to pick it up. So, let's have a quick look at some of these items. Wow, more of Malmortius is finished off onto Darius. He also has a Leviathan as well, so it's one of those snowbally items. You gain 32 health per stack, and of course you do get up to 20 stacks. If he manages to get to 20 stacks, it's going to be all kinds of pain, because he takes 15% less damage. And on Darius, that's going to be sad times for TCM. But with this Baron now, 2 players still have it. In fact, let me switch over and make sure that's correct. Graves and Yorick have it. So yes, that was correct. 2 players have it. And two influential players, it has to be said. Graves 626, 192 creep score, Phantom Dancer, Bloodthirster, and a pickaxe. And Yorick has the Manamune. He's had it for absolutely ages now. Spirit Visage, Glacial Shroud, and 2 cloth armor. So he's definitely going to be building that one into a Frozen Heart, as you'd expect. I was thinking Abyssal Scepter would be on the cards here for Kennen, but instead he is going to be going towards that Hextech Revolver first. Of course, Hextech Revolver is more cost efficient in the sense it doesn't cost a great deal and it gives you 40 ability power and 12% spell vamp. So maybe that was Kennen's thought process behind it. Doesn't cost quite as much and still gives me a fair amount in return. Maybe Abyssal Scepter is going to be next on the cards for him. Frozen Heart has just been taken from Yorick, so it has been completed. And you're also going to have the Frozen Mallet from Nocturne. So if he jumps on in there and starts to harass, you know, Tristana or someone similar, it's going to be difficult for them to escape, actually. I just saw Last Whisper get completed from Graves, so he is going to be putting out some horrible pain for the opposition. And if you actually have a quick look in comparison between the two AD carries, Tristana on 8.2 gold, 8.2k gold I should say, and Graves on just over 10,000, so there's a big difference there. It's reflected in the item build. Last Whisper, Bloodthirster and Phantom Dancer versus a Zeal and an Infinity Edge, and Tristana only has about 900 gold, so she doesn't even have enough for a BF sword here. Graves is a long way ahead in that battle. Kassadin has finished off his Rod of Ages, also has the large rod, as TCM are going to start to push their way down into this jungle. Two players have Baron still. For how long? Well, they've got about a quarter left remaining. Oh, Kassadin's playing a dangerous game there. Perke does not want to get caught in this position. If he gets stunned from Taric, it is game, set, and match for him. And smartly, he is going to pull back. Perhaps Fnatic are trying to set up a trap here. 3 players in the same bush. Lots and lots of damage to be had. Look at that depth charge coming out from Nautilus. Graves gets completely exploded. So for all of his items, he's not going to have any impact in this team fight whatsoever. Darius will pick up one with his ultimate. Picks up 2 as well. Oh my god, this character is insane. He's looking for his third onto Yorick. He's going to be popping off the ultimate. Gets his triple kill. And that's going to be the team ace without losing a single player. Tristana is the lowest health, flashing up red on our screens, but she's going to be fine with Soraka throwing in the heal. So Fnatic had pretty much a disadvantage going into that team fight in the sense that 2 of TCM had the Baron buff, but they had the best positioning. Graves went down without any issues whatsoever, and a depth charge knocking 3 or 4 players in the air. Such smart play from Fnatic. They're now going to try and pick up this mid tower. They should do so with ease. 14 seconds remaining on the Yorick's timer until he's back alive and kicking. And they're going to have ample time to pick up this tower and to pull back once again. So Fnatic doing the damage, pushing forward, taking a tower, going back again. Look at Graves' damage though onto Kassadin. Kassadin is just going to be able to riff walk. There we go. And Perke will be just fine. So yeah, Fnatic once again, even when their backs are against the wall, they come out swinging. Look at that goal difference. 48.2 to 38.1. So after 30 minutes, 10k coming up on the board. They have 5 towers down that they've destroyed. And TCM with only 2. Here comes Graves again. Look at the damage onto that Kassadin. He's flashing the wall. He's really hungry to pick up this kill. But in the process, he's going to get down there from the chunk. The pure chunk of Darius and that guillotine. And I will never get tired of seeing that animation. It looks so good. In fact, I probably shouldn't mention Heroes of Newerth and League of Legends stream, but it reminds me very much of Legionnaire's ulti. And anyone that's played Legionnaire would know exactly what I'm talking about there. Incoming flame, don't really care. But either way, Darius is awesome. To watch anyway. To play against, I'd imagine you'd probably be punching the keyboard and throwing your monitor out the window. But you have to say, you know, you get 3 bans. If Darius is that much of an issue, ban him out. Otherwise he's going to go 14-2-7 against you. He has the Warden's Mail and the Heart of Gold, which of course are components for the Randuin's Omen. And oh god, I'm actually feeling pain just thinking about a Randuin's Omen on Darius. Wow, that is not a nice thought. So much slow. He's going to be spinning that axe around time and time again. His Q, which is Decimate, ample name for it to be honest, very accurate. And it's going to be difficult to get away from him. Then you've got Nautilus on top of that with his Riptide. You've got Tristana coming in with a rocket jump. And that's not even mentioning Kassadin. So scary stuff right now for TCM. Alrighty, so is there anything else to report on in terms of item build? Doesn't look to be the case. I mean, Cassidy has gone and finished at Abaddon's death cap, so let's have a look at how much ability power he currently has. He's got 392, and that's going to hurt. His Null Sphere is doing 280 plus 275, has an 8.6 second cooldown, and of course, if you don't know much about League of Legends, it also silences, so it's a very nice all-round move. He can also jump in with his Rift Walk. He's got Force Pulse as well, which he has just used to clear out a few creeps. They're just going to be pushing this mid tower, and you do have a couple of TCM coming from the back, so they're going to try the old back attack. The pincer movement here, as Nocturne has gone on to the AD carry of Lamia, but not doing anywhere near enough damage. A couple of Zhonya's hourglasses have been popped off. Here comes Darius once again. He's picked up one. Could we see a pentakill in the works here? If there's anybody to do it, it's Darius right now. He's picked up the first. Lots of damage being exchanged. Soraka's going to pick up his second, and a collateral damage right down the heart. Look at this raw damage output from both teams. Double kill coming up there from Cassidy. He should be going down there from the Graves, and that's going to leave Nautilus and Soraka standing. Nautilus on realistically no health. One hit and he's dead from Yorick here. The Ghoul's going to come in. Nice heal though from Soraka, and the shield comes up. So the Titan's Wrath is on the battlefield. Riptide will aim to slow down Yorick, but Yorick can go toe for toe with the slows. He's going to have to flash away, but I think that may, in hindsight, have been a bit of a waste from Nautilus. There's no way he was going to escape from Yorick with a red buff, and also the slow coming out. So Yeoman of Pestilence, way too strong in the end, and that will be, I think that was a 4-for-4 exchange in the end between the two teams. So really impressive play. I was thinking, you know, when TCM first went in there, Nocturne popped his Paranoia onto Tristana. As soon as Tristana managed to get away from that initial burst damage and the unspeakable horror, I was fearing the worst for TCM, but the exhaust went down onto Tristana. She was still auto-attacking away, wasn't doing a great deal of damage, but it was elsewhere in the team fight where things just didn't work for Fnatic. Previously, you know, Darius would be picking up 2 or 3 kills. This time he died very early, so he was completely counted out. I think that's the reason why Fnatic ended up actually going a player behind in that team fight overall. But they can afford to lose team fights by a player or two for the next 5 to 10 minutes because they're so far ahead on gold and on kills alongside towers. Here we go, they're going to be on around Baron. Lots of damage being put out onto Taric. I don't think he's going to survive. He has managed to actually heal himself back up. I thought Hemorrhage would have finished him off there. So a nice escape, but here comes Cassidy flashing in with the Rift Walk and the Force Pulse. Yorick is going to be under heavy attack. Here comes Kennen, Zhonya's Hourglass and the Slicing Maelstrom doing all kinds of damage there to Darius, who should be falling any second now. In fact, he could be able to escape. If he can escape, it's going to be absolutely fantastic. So much burst by both teams. Graves getting 2. Can he pick up any more? Yes, he can. Right at the end, getting the triple onto Nautilus, and that's going to be a 4-for-3 exchange. Just Darius remains, but he has nowhere near enough health to mount any kind of a defense against the Yorick and Graves. Wow. Somehow Fnatic are losing in these team fights. You have to say that once Kennen goes in and he pops that Zhonya's Hourglass, he's a real handful. Kennen is really making up for that poor start. Graves on top of that though, the burst damage that he brings to the team is insane. He has really nice items, he's firing off that buckshot and the collateral damage right down the 5v5s. But here comes Darius from the backside. Is he going to claim a chunk with that guillotine any second now? In fact, it must be on cooldown, otherwise he'd have used it there. He has picked up the first onto Graves. Can he get the second? Apprehend back onto Yorick again. Chunk goes in. That's going to be a kill onto Yorick. However, the Yorick ultimate, the Omen of Death, has been popped up here. And nice ultimate pushing back Yorick, saying, no way, Jose. This Buster Shot too strong for you, and Yorick will not be getting the return kill onto Darius. So Darius moves on 16-3-11. He has Randuin's Omen, the Maw of Malmortius, the Frozen Leviathan, and the Chain Vest on top of the Mercury Treads. How much gold does he actually have overall? 15.2k. He is the top, the top recipient of gold by quite some distance. Graves is the closest with 13.9, nearly 14k. They're going to start off onto Baron. And Peke is playing pointman. He is just going to scout out there. Doesn't look like TCM have any interest in trying to stop this, and who can blame them? Yorick, one of their main damage dealers and tanks, had only just respawned, so they couldn't have hoped to have done anything there. So Fnatic with Baron are well and truly in the driver's seat, cruising down the highway. TCM just going to do their best to dig in deep. This mid tower, though, is on low health, and they're going to be picking this one up easy with Tristana. Here comes... Oh, wow! Kassadin's burst damage. Graves just disintegrates in front of the eyes of the rest of his team. He's going to be down for 55 seconds. That could well spell the end of this matchup between TCM and Fnatic. Fnatic should be winning from this position. Apprehend has been used. So much damage being exchanged there from Darius, but it's actually Tristana that comes in for the final kill. Depth charge back onto Taric. And Kassadin doing everything he can to get right in the face of the opposition. Tarzan will be getting dropped. In fact, it wasn't Tarzan, sorry. It was Farfade from TCM getting two teams mixed up entirely. And that's going to be Nexus Tower 1 down, Nexus Tower 2 down, and the Nexus itself has just been destroyed. So that's going to be a real clinical finish to what was a close game from Fnatic. TCM can definitely take a bow, made a real game of this, to be fair, but it has to be said, Darius is really, really strong, guys. I mean, really, that guillotine is ridiculous. Anyway, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this. I'm not sure if we'll be bringing you the grand finals or if it'll be on the other stream, but we'll find out that soon for you. We'll cut to a quick commercial break and we'll give you an update when we find stuff out. So, yeah, see you soon.